Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jemma Absaya for those that are new here, and I hope you have been enjoying this series so far. And of course, I've been seeing you guys support, I've been seeing the likes, the shares, seeing you guys subscription, and I'm so grateful. Please join this family and make sure to engage on the conversations we are going to be having. So, in today's video, I'm super excited, and at the same time, I'm honored to be seated with this woman. She's doing so well in her field, and I just love it when women are shifting barriers, doing amazing stuff in their field. So this woman she was recently celebrated as one of the 30 influential scientists in the Saharan Africa. Scientist, basically. She's into agriculture and involved in climate change. Basically, she's an agroclimatologist, and she's really doing well. I'm so excited to have this conversation with her. Seated with me here is Mrs. Mary Adefunke Idowu, and honestly, like I said before, I'm super excited to have this conversation with her. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Welcome to the channel, ma.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. I've said quite a lot, and I know you did your undergraduate study. You studied geography and planning science, right? And then you've done your masters. Then you're currently pursuing your PhD on geography at the University of Ilorin, which is super amazing. So, ma, I just want to ask. I'm curious. What inspired you to do the things you do? Why are you so interested in agriculture? So interested in how climate affects agriculture and our welfare in general, ma? So
Thank you very much for
yes,
that brilliant question.
Yes, sir.
My passion for agriculture and climate change came up when I was very small.
Wow.
Because I love to see people farm, and I love to ensure that my environment is green. Because when I see it, I see that this is aesthetically beautiful,
Yes.
and I want to see more of that. So growing up, seeing my father doing all of this, my maternal grandfather specifically doing this, I was like, oh wow, I also want to be a farmer. But then my parents would not allow us because they wanted us to like read and read at all times.
Yes.
So after I got married and I met my father-in-law, who is also a farmer, I was so happy that, oh wow, this is exactly what I have wanted. And I have seen someone who can always support me and assist me to do exactly what I want to do. So I discussed with the man, and we're always going out, going to the farm, and particularly during one of those strikes, I think the 8-month strike in if I'm not making a mistake, that should be in 2022. So I had to go to the farm with him on one of these occasions, and he was so impressed that, oh wow, if a woman could do this, that means she's someone that actually loves farming. So, and that was how it all started, and we began to do things together. And in the aspect of climate change, this actually came into the picture during my undergraduate days. I so much love anything that has to do with climate change because I wanted to be a weather forecaster, like to predict the weather and just say, okay, the weather is going to be like this today. So I want to sit somewhere and say, you need to be very watchful about today's weather. But then I had this my lecturer who is also the climatologist. So this woman is always coming to the class, and she'll be like, you people, you are not serious, this and that. But then I'll just feel within myself that even if you fry yourself, your face at us, and you want to deal with us today, it is this climate change I'm going to do.
Yes.
So I just decided that, okay, this is exactly what I want, and I am going to go for it. So that was how the whole thing came up. And seeing my environment, that Ekiti State, where I hailed from, where the land parcel is reducing as a result of increasing population, and people are changing the whole thing. So I just felt like, okay, as population is increasing, we need to look into the causes, the effects, and possible solutions to all of this. So that is why I just felt like, okay, let me go into agroclimatology.
Mm,
So I can always predict what the weather will look like
mm,
and how this climate of a thing is going to affect our agricultural practices.
mm.
So that is something that has brought about the agroclimatology.
Okay, ma. Wow, that was so beautiful, ma.
Thank
Okay, so ma, I know like you've been putting a lot of effort, behind the scene. We always see the achievements, the awards, but there are so many like you work so hard basically, let me just put it that way, and effort. But how does it feel? How did you feel when you were celebrated at that ceremony or
you once again. It
yes,
was really a great honor. I feel so excited. I felt on top of the world, like, wow, so this
yeah,
is me. This
yeah.
could really happen to me because I never believed it at first.
Mm,
When when the call was put to me from one of the organizers, sorry,
okay.
Maha by Nemada Hawi. So she was like, you don't need to tell anyone except your supervisor. I was like,
Hmm.
is this not a scammer? That was the first thing that just came to my brain. And then I was going through a lot because
Wow.
my father-in-law was with me a week before then, before the call. He called on me and said he would like to die in my husband's place, which is where I
Wow.
was living. So he now told me, will I be able to bring him down to our place? I said, no
Wow.
problem, Baba, that you're free to come in.
Mm.
So when he came in and I received that call, I was like, what's all this stress all about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Baba is here, he's sick. You people are calling me again, and you're telling me that the only person I can call is my supervisor. I
Hmm.
just felt like, no, I'm not going to do this. I
Hmm.
couldn't tell my supervisor sincerely. Then the next thing was, are you happy? I said, yes, I am glad. But within me, I know
Mm.
I
There's
was a
still a
bit
lot.
worried. I was
Yes.
skeptical about it. So a week after I got the email that I have been given an award from L'Oreal UNESCO. I was like, wow,
Wow.
this is
That's
a great honor for
massive.
me. So
Yes.
I needed to celebrate myself. And the next person I called was my husband. So
Wow.
thereafter, I called my supervisor and one of my co-supervisors, who is also a mentor to me,
Mm.
Dr. Eludoyin. So I called him and I explained everything to every one of them, telling them this is what happened, this and that. So they were so glad to
Mm.
hear that. So to me, winning such an award is a great
Oh
honor.
no.
It's a great
Yeah.
honor. And I don't know, I really can't say I have really worked hard, but then I have I have worked because I'm not this kind of person that have a particular timetable for reading.
Okay.
I can tell you I want to read now, and the next thing I'll just slip off. But then, while sleeping, I will realize that I'm actually reading while sleeping. So
Wow.
the next thing is I'll just stand up from wherever I am and go back to exactly what I saw
Wow.
in during my
Sleep.
sleep. Then I'll just go back to it and go through it again.
Wow.
I'll feel
Really?
okay, and with that, you just realize that I'm trying to assimilate it
Mm.
and I'm getting exactly what I needed to get. But
Wow.
sincerely, I really don't have a timetable for reading. I can't say
Mm.
this is how I read. But
Wow.
mostly at night, I just pick
So
up something and I read. And maybe within one, before you know it, I'm already pressing my phone. I'm on my
wow.
phone again
So there is
or
a grace
watching
upon your
some.
life then.
Yes, exactly. It is just the grace of God.
Mm.
All I can say is it is the grace of God. But
Okay.
having a timetable for reading, I don't know. I don't
No.
have it. I don't have it.
Okay, okay. All right, ma. You mentioned something that your husband was the first person you called, so that means you have a supportive husband. But we'll
Definitely.
get back into that, not in this particular video. Okay, so I wanted to ask if you handled self-doubt in your career, maybe like you said now, in the previous this you said, oh, you were not like in the right frame of mind, you were going through a lot in that particular season when that achievement award came, right? So do you have moments where you have to undo self-doubt, like, oh, I can't do this, people are already doing great things already, why do I need to contribute again, what do I need, are they looking for someone like me here? Do you have moments like that, and how do you undo such moments?
Definitely, I do. Many are
Okay.
times, yes. Yes, there are times I just feel like I can't do this thing.
Mm,
And thank God for the kind of man that I have. Ever
Wow.
supportive from the day one. Because
Wow.
in fact, I never believed I could have MSc, not to talk of PhD.
Mm.
And one condition he gave me then in 2015 when we were trying to like do our introduction was, if you're not going to further your education,
Education. You're
I'm not
not going
getting
to.
married to
It's,
you.
he has told us in class to several
Actually.
times.
So,
Students.
so and I told him, okay, no problem. In fact, he got the form himself. I never
Wow.
knew how he did it, but the next thing
Wow.
was, you have to prepare yourself for the exam. I was like, exam? How do I read? What do I want to read? What do I know about the exam? I think
Mm.
a day before the exam was when I got to that institution. That was Obafemi Awolowo University.
Yes.
I got a place, and I told the lady I was going to stay with that I need past questions, and that was all I went through. Was I was not even ready for it. I just said, okay, this is what you want me to do. Let me just do it. Let me just do it for him
Okay.
and go.
For
So
him.
for him, exactly,
Wow.
and go. So that was what I did then. But as God will have it, uh, I did well. I performed brilliantly well, and I got admitted into that institute. That's Institute of Ecology and Environmental Studies. So that was where I did my masters. So many a times I used to like, can I do this thing? In fact, during my PhD here, I always feel like I can't do it. I can't go further. In fact, I think 2 days ago, I was still telling him that there's a woman that is giving me a headache that I'm
Wow.
not sure I want to go
Ah.
further with this program again. He was like, you are not
You're
serious,
not.
that you have collected you've collected money for this research. You have to do it,
See.
and you just don't have to stop. You don't have to like
Mm.
allow anything to hinder you from making your own progress. That's remain focused.
Yes.
So anytime he just tells me that, I'll be like, okay, there's no problem. Remain focused. That's always a statement that rings
Okay.
bell in me. That's okay, remain focused and do not allow anything or anyone to stop you or to hinder you from doing what you want to do.
Okay.
So he's just the person that has
Okay.
always been there.
Wow. So all this I keeps it keeps like referring to your husband that is like been supportive and everything. Okay, so as a student, honestly, I know it's very challenging because there's sometimes I feel like giving up too because it's the stress is too much and then the economy is giving you gbasgbos, then school is giving you gbasgbos, life is giving you gbasgbos, you know. So it's a lot. So what's one thing you have to tell young people out there that are trying to pursue a career and they are like tired, they're like, I can't do this anymore. What would you say to people like that? Maybe students, they are, of course, they are still in school, and but they are
Sure.
still trying to find their leg. Okay, what career will I pursuing? What would you say to people like that?
My advice for everyone and anyone who wants to like hear this is, do not relent.
Okay.
Be focused, because when you're being focused, then you realize that it's determination comes in. You won't fail in anything.
Mm,
And another thing is, you need to surround yourself with people that can support
mm,
you,
that's very
inspire you,
important.
motivate you
Yes.
to bring your dreams to life. Because that dream is very important. When you aspire to do something, or you're determined to do something, and you don't have people to support you, it can weigh you down,
Ah,
because you feel like, there's no one to encourage me. Why am I even doing this? But the fact that I have someone to always encourage me that, you can do this, that's one of his words.
you can do
He will
this.
just tell me, beloved, I know you can do this. So please just go for it. And I'll be like, okay. He just said I can do it. And that keeps reminiscing in me. And in fact, even when he was not there with me, while I was alone with the kids for like years, that's one thing that keeps coming. That's, beloved, we even if I tell him that I don't want to go through it again, or I don't want to further this thing again, the next thing is, I know you
You
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
Please go ahead and do it. Then the next thing, I'll just go ahead and do it, and I'll inform him that I have done it. And be like, yeah, I said it,
That's
that
what
you
I
can.
said. Yes.
So just surround yourself with people that can inspire you, motivate you, and support you. That's my advice for the young
Okay,
ones.
so thank you so much for that advice, ma. One more question before we end this particular video. How would you say your faith life or your work with God has, helped you to stay grounded and anchored you in your career? Because like you said, there are moments where you feel like giving up. There are moments where you are still second guessing yourself, handling self-doubt. So, as your faith life or your work with God influence that part of your life, especially in your career?
Definitely it has to a
Okay,
great extent
okay.
because without God,
Mm,
there is nothing you can do.
mm,
You
nothing.
can achieve anything. So I make God first.
Mm.
When I wake up in the morning, the first person I like to, in fact, when we first got married, I was always telling my husband that I can't talk to you first. I have to talk to
To
God.
God.
And that is exactly what I have imbibed in my children.
Mm.
When they're coming to me and I say, Mommy, good morning, have you prayed? That's the first
Wow,
thing because I
that's
know early in the morning,
amazing.
especially during the weekdays, I go out before them to the kitchen. So when they come around to check on me, Mommy, good morning, go back and say your morning prayer if you
Prayers
have not.
first.
And they
Mm.
have known that when they wake up, the first thing they need to do is to
Let's
say
talk to
their
God.
morning prayer.
Mm.
Without that, you are not talking to me. You cannot even come to me and talk to me.
Wow, that's a
And
good
that is
value.
exactly what my husband is always telling them. Have you said your morning prayer?
Mm.
So the morning prayer is very important before you wake up in the after you wake up in the morning, sorry. So the next thing is to go on your knees and talk to God. That's the first person I always talk to. And when I talk to him, I tell him, this is what I want to do today.
Mm.
Please, I need your direction.
Mm.
Direct me so that I can do it effectively. So listing out or making a to-do list for the day, you're just doing it without God.
Mm.
But when God is there first, you'll be able to go in the right direction that, okay,
Mm.
this is what you want to do today, and this is how it should go. Even if you're going the wrong path, the spirit will always come to you and tell you that, my dear, you're not doing the right thing.
Mm. Mm.
So you have to go this way or to go that way. So it is God first. And as a Catholic, my dear, I always want to no one is perfect
Yes,
though.
definitely.
But then I always want to make everything go well because
Mm.
there's one thing, I don't know, maybe it's a kind of phobia. I always try to ensure that every blessed day that I take the Holy Communion, even though I've not been opportune to do that.
Every day.
Yes, as a Catholic, you must take the Holy Communion every day if you go for Mass. So I
Okay.
always ensure that
Okay, okay.
as much as possible, I try to do that. And that is where I always want to go
Wow.
in the Lord's direction without,
Mm.
though you cannot do a day without committing a sin. But then,
Mm.
as much as possible, I
Possible.
try to avoid any form of sins that could hinder me from taking it.
Mm.
So that's one thing about me, about
Yeah.
my religious life.
Okay. Wow.
So
I think the best part, for me, the part that stood out for me is where you said, talking to God first is your priority, and then you imbibing those values in your kids. So
true.
amazing. I think for me, I do that too before like talking, before going out and everything. I make sure I talk to God first, even before talking to my roommate. And I think that's a value that I would like to imbibe in my children to instill in them, which is very, very nice. Oh my God, I totally enjoyed this conversation, and I just love the way you just like said things freely, and then you're wow, that's so amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Ma. This is truly an honor to sit down and talk to you, to chat with you. To viewers out there, I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you've gotten so much value from this video. And if you've gotten so much value, please make sure you like. You cannot just watch this video and leave like that. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Share this video with friends that need to see this video, people that you feel like this video is going to bless them. And like I said before, like this video because it makes YouTube algorithm to push out this video so that more people will be able to see this video, and that would be really nice if you guys do that for me. Thank you so much guys for watching, and then I'll see you in the part 2. Bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.